Welcome to the name game. Workout number 161 is Ted Lasso. 4-time, 800-meter run, immediately into 8 rounds of 9 Medball GHD sit-ups, 20/14 pounds, 6 box jumps, 30/24 inches, and 3 Burpee Bar Muscle-Ups. And once again, immediately into an 800-meter run.
Just people in New York, they're a different breed. They'll take whatever they want.
We're off. Dante's going to be finishing up his run here. Apparently they're not allowed to move the air runners in Solace, so he should be coming out any second here.
New York law.
New York law, yes. Some of the things they have to do to logistically to figure out the workouts. I mean, luckily they have all the equipment. They're allowed to drop weights and stuff, which is pretty rare in New York City.
Super rare.
Which is why they're training there, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, some unique movements or twists on movements that could very plausibly show up. I wrote this, and it was the point was to find sort of a novel stimulus that's not so far out of left field that it's borderlining ridiculous, but at the same time, stuff that would actually be is also a good test of fitness. So, we're not gonna. If people want to do the GHD sit up to a riser or something, if you're a female, that's fine. But it's pretty easy to reach back and touch the ball to the floor without. That's not tough range of motion because you get an extra range of motion with the ball. So I'm not particularly worried about the Medball GHD standard. And then for the Burpee Bar Muscle-Up, you just have to use a bar that you can hang from without your feet touching. That's the only rule.
I would make a bar muscle-up hard anyways if your feet were touching the floor.
I mean, not if it was at waist height.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just thinking about how people would do this if it was came out and 100,000 people did it. Sometimes I think like that. How would I do this if it said it this way?
I guess you're right.
So 800-meter run, half mile at the ends. So mile total of running. Everybody's going to run a mile, even if you get capped in this workout. So the language says that at the 16-minute mark, if you're not through the 8 rounds of work, the middle portion, then you're just going to go to the run as sort of a tiebreak time. And obviously, if you're someone who finishes before that mark, you're still going to be going and running anyway. So either way, you're going to run the mile. It just depends how much work you get through in the middle, if you get capped or not.
I feel like his hips were probably smoked after this workout.
Yes. So I did talk to him. This is one of the things I kind of mentioned that I'd save his feedback until we got onto this. But he said his midline was just smoked.
He what?
His midline was smoked.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the movements, and it's the huge range of motion and rapid hip flexion of the GHDs, then your explosive hip extension on the box jumps, and then more hip flexion and hip extension in both the burpee and the bar muscle up. Plus, you're coming off of a run. I could see your hips and midline just being thrashed.
The second run is going to be super interesting.
You're just hopping around.
Can we see that again?
Running with Jello core, just
yeah. But have either of you really done Medball GHD sit-ups?
I haven't, no.
I have not often, but maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I've played with them once or twice.
So
I'm very, very interested to see how they go in a workout like this. It requires obviously way more tension just because they're weighted. Yeah. But you also have to squeeze the ball between your hands, which is kind of annoying. So it doesn't go flying. And then for me at least, it feels like I hyperextend my back a lot more.
Yes.
I don't know why that is, because the range of motion is almost cut down, but it feels like in order to get a good momentum in the sit-up, it almost requires you to kind of
I would think
hyperextend a little more.
The range of motion isn't exactly the same because it's if you think about where your hands touch in the GHD, it's much, for me at least, it's much wider.
Yeah, it's because you don't go to the standard.
Me. Anyways, it's much
It
wider
can be for sure.
than
Yeah.
the med ball. And then on
They
top
have
of
to be
it,
over the top of your head.
yeah, and then on top of it, it's like you said, it's for me. I feel like it's like you have to be a little controlled on the way back, so you don't like snap yourself in half. And then all of a sudden on the way up, it's like okay, and then shoom, like the ball like kind of like throws you really fast, versus not having the weight, so it can be a little awkward.
Yeah. And this is like one of those number of reps where it's like just a small enough chunk where you can just kind of get through it. You're not going to have to break the 9 reps unless you're really trash. But then it's also like you can do the thing where you like roll the ball up your legs as you sit up, or you can obviously like hold on to it and like just shoot it to the foot pad. But like that's the standard, is to touch the ball to the foot pad. So it's like you can either like roll the ball up your legs, roll it back down your legs, and then kind of hold it obviously as you do the sit-up portion, but like the top half you can kind of roll it up and down your legs, or you can obviously, it's a lot quicker if you don't do that and you just hold on to it, like hold it in your hands.
Yeah, I'm wondering, as I'm watching Dante do this workout, I thought there was a guy walking up towards his GHD. I thought he was going to snag Dante's GHD.
Yeah.
That has to happen.
I was just about to say, I wonder how often or how good people are in this gym versus like
There's a lot of CrossFitters, so I think it's probably better than just commercial gym most places.
I was just about to say, Dave, have you ever had to do like circuit training workouts or CrossFit workouts at a commercial gym? And it's like,
Yes.
Dave has.
That's why I asked
The
her.
worst.
It's like,
It's
all right,
the
I'm going
worst.
over. You know what? I didn't want that equipment. That's
Yeah.
fine.
They wanted to
it's like
superset everything and
Yeah.
didn't get in at 3 a.m., so someone else had to use the machine.
That's literally why I go at 3 a.m. It just became a habit. But I just knew that stuff wouldn't be stolen from me.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's the worst, especially like if you're in New York, like this gym. I just imagine like just people in New York, and they're a different breed. They'll take whatever they want.
No apologies.
Yeah.
I did notice that Dante's stepping all of his reps down with the same leg, which,
Don't do that, Dante.
yeah, I feel like I was watching one of Brennan's videos the other day, and he did the same thing. I was like, man, we gotta work on that. We gotta alternate your legs, folks, when you step down. I mean, it's less work than a step up, obviously, but you're still doing work, so you might as well alternate.
Now, I don't know what order these are going to come out in. But what was the gentleman's name we spoke to last week? I think he's one of your clients. It'll be out already. What was his name?
Brendan?
Brendan. So Brendan made a joke about his burpees and how he was going to go through the Chris burpee progression because he...
Is Dante going to get through it now?
It's funny because it's like I only created that progression because I very vividly once did a workout that had dumbbell snatches and box jump overs, very high volume, and my back hurt so
That's what I was going
bad.
to say. In this workout, my back would hurt by doing that because the crazy flexion from the GHD combined with all that jumping with the single leg step down, my back would start getting real wonky to one side,
and
like getting twisted.
Yep. And so I was doing box jump overs and like a top, like just going in the same direction, right? And
You got all dizzy.
oh my gosh! And I remember I had a coach at the time, and I was talking to him. He's like, "Are you going the same? What? You step down the same side?" I was like, "Yeah." I've never practiced the other side. He's like, "Do that." So I was
Never
like,
do that
"All right."
again.
Yeah. And it's crazy. You don't think about it at the time because you're used to just doing one side, whether you're stepping down or stepping up out of a burpee in the example, that it feels comfortable. It's quick, right? But once you hit a workout that has high volume or something like this, where it's very similar movement patterns because of the movement, like, you might have one hip that blows up more than the other, and then you're shot.
Yeah. If it's like, I really remember there was, I guess, one point in time where I did that too, because I had a similar experience where I was like, I did like 50 or 60 bar facing burpees in a workout where I stepped them all up. And my left hip, which was the one I was stepping up with, was just so tired. And I was like, I have to learn to alternate these.
Yes. And it's crazy. It's like, in CrossFit terms, it's like you learn how to alternate, and it's like all of a sudden you're fitter. And it's like, well, I'm just more efficient.
And more symmetrical.
Yes.
Which is only going to benefit
So
other things.
Dante, do me a favor. Learn how do both, bro.
All right, we're going to be Sour Patch Kids, because I'll say that his Burpee Bar Muscle-Ups are looking really smooth. He is relative to most CrossFitters on the larger framed side of things. So it's like just going to be challenging, like, you know, above the average in terms of height and weight. So it's like gymnastics are always just going to be a challenge. And he's come a long way with his muscle ups. He's catching these quite high.
I feel like for me personally, if you're stuck watching bar muscle ups from behind, like we are here, I can, or you can tell as a coach when someone does a really good job of sequencing knee drive and hip drive. When
Just like floats over.
Yes, when you see that like snap and they float over the top, and he's doing a really good job of that.
It was 8 rounds that he has to do?
Correct. 8 rounds of 963.
963. God, those GHD sit-ups. So you try to catch your breath, and then you go there, and it's just like you're starting all over again.
Yeah, you have to kind of almost hold your breath in those because it's just a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Like those are
Just like
those are really
bracing
not
the whole
easy.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'll probably, if I think about it, I'll probably give some of my athletes who I know are going to be doing this just at least 1 or 2 touches of that movement just to practice a little bit before they have to race it.
Yeah.
Oh, and now we're tired.
Yeah, these rests are getting longer and longer for the box jumps.
Yeah.
Because you also, like, when your hips are super tired, you like start worrying about failing your box jumps.
Yeah.
A 30-inch box and a joke. It's a lot harder than 24 for females. We'll see if Alicia watches this from the gym, because I always complain about certain male to female scales, or not scales, like ratios.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh man, 24 to 30, it might be like 70% of the height, but that's not the same when you're jumping as it is for weights.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
CrossFit also could be weird sometimes where they're like, it's 70%. And then all of a sudden you see weights and it's like, this is not 70%. What
It's
is
like
this?
74%.
No, it's less.
Or it's less. Like masters females will go from like 35-pound dumbbells to 25s. And then it's literally like so light for them. It's literally like nothing.
Yeah.
And then it turns into like a completely different athlete who's successful in the workout.
Yeah, but I think it's often like a logistical choice. Like a 185 clean for guys should be like 135 for girls, but they'll often do 125, so you don't have to add those extra 5s.
Yeah. Well, not bad, Dante.
Good job, Dante.
Yeah. You know, all things considered, the muscle ups held up really well. It's just the rest getting longer, which I think for most people we can kind of expect. And yeah, that's to be expected to see some movement breakdown in something like this. So well done.
He's just behind. Oh, look at this guy just get. Oh yeah.
Cookie Monster.
Yeah. Loser.
Oh man. Thanks for watching today. Be sure to share this workout and take it on with some friends. If you want to learn more about how to optimize your performance for the sport of CrossFit, or if you're interested in hiring one of our coaches, head over to zorfitness.com. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. Best of luck on the workout, and as always, stay the course.